I started playing recorder and piano when I was 4. And then stuck with the recorder, got to a certain standard, and then my parents said, do you want to play a proper instrument? Of course, recorder at the time was never considered a proper instrument. And I said, yes, clarinet. And a friend of my mother's married a man who was the leader of the second violins in the Welsh National Opera Orchestra. And she said, Bernard, Merlin wants to play clarinet. Do you think you could find him a teacher from the orchestra? And he said, okay. And he came back and he said, well, actually, he's too young. Clarinet's too heavy and developing teeth and embouchure and stuff, and it's not good. But he should play. I found him a great flute player, a great flute teacher, and if he learns flute for a while, he can then graduate onto the clarinet. Now, I don't think this is a good idea. I think if a kid wants to play an instrument, you should give them the instrument. And of course, I could have played a smaller clarinet. I could have played a C clarinet or an E flat or something if I was too small. But no, I was put on flute, and after 7 or 8 years of classical flute lessons, I didn't like the genre. I mean, I didn't like the canon of classical music for the flute, and I still wanted to play clarinet. So I just gave up the whole thing. I didn't want to do classical stuff, and I taught myself guitar, and I taught myself mandolin, and I did other stuff, and I played in punk bands at the time. This was during the punk era, and then, age 19, I discovered saxophone. And I picked up a saxophone. I thought, I've got to have one of these. And I taught myself, because I still had the flute, I still had music. So I taught myself saxophone. And then a few years later, I was offered a job working at the National Theatre in London. And I knew the composer. He was a friend of mine. I'd worked with him a year or so before in Liverpool. And I was working at the National Theatre playing saxophone in a production of Joshua Sobol's Ghetto, and on one of the onstage band, and this next show came in, and it was Peer Gynt by Ibsen, and it was original music, not the Grieg, and I knew the composer, and he said, I want you to play clarinet, not saxophone. And I said, but I don't play, so I just went out and bought one, and taught myself clarinet during the rehearsal period, the 8-week rehearsal period, and decided to stick with it. I thought, this is what I should have been doing the whole time, not saxophone.